He paid the ultimate price. High school quarterback, 16, snuck out of the house to take his mother's SUV on a joyride and crashed into a semi, killing himself and 2 friends. 3 teenagers from Washington state were killed in a crash last week after one of the victims, a 16-year-old boy, had slipped out of his house to go for a drive with friends in his mother's car. The Snohomish County Medical Examiner's officer has identified 3 victims in Wednesday's crash in Linwood as 16-year-old Landon Staley, Travin Nelson Fongfew, 16, and Michaela Sorensen, 15. All 3 were friends and classmates at Henry Jackson High School, where Staley played on the football team. His mother, Kari Staley, described her late son as affectionate and level-headed in an interview with Q13 Fox. According to information from the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, Landon was driving a Kia Sorento with 3 passengers at around 4 a.m. in the 16,900 block of Alderwood Mall Parkway in Linwood when the SUV struck, then drove underneath a parked semi-tractor trailer. The force of the impact was so powerful that it sheared off the top of the Kia. 2 of the victims were pronounced dead on the scene, a 3rd person passed away in an ambulance en route to a hospital. The medical examiner has determined that the cause of the teen's death was blunt force injuries and ruled the manner of death an accident. The 4th passenger, only identified as a 15-year-old girl attending Cascade High School, was taken to Harborview Regional Medical Center in stable condition. Friends said Sorensen was the girl's cousin. The semi-trailer was legally parked along Alderwood Mall Parkway, but according to investigators, it was not parked in the correct way because its front was facing traffic, which constitutes a civil parking violation. Staley's mother said her son, who only got his intermediate driver's license 2 months ago, snuck out of his family's apartment in Everett in the hours before the crash, which was a first for him. He decided to go out and drive and break a few rules and paid the ultimate price, Mrs. Staley said. Friends tell the station King 5 the 4 victims were driving back from Seattle and had been posting messages on Snapchat an hour before the collision, which occurred about 6 miles from Landon's home. Police say speed may have been a role in the crash. The deadly accident comes at a particularly difficult time for Kari Staley, who lost her husband, Jason, to an aggressive form of cancer a year ago. The heartbroken widow said she learned the devastating news about Landon when sheriff's deputies and her pastor showed up at her workplace the next day. "I did not expect this to ever happen. I wanted to watch him grow old, have children, and graduate from high school," she tells KMO News. A GoFundMe campaign started on behalf of the Staley family described Landon as a popular high school quarterback with a smile that would literally light up a room. Sorensen's older brother described the 15-year-old girl was a beautiful young woman that had a fiercely positive attitude in the face of adversity and loved the world regardless of the pain and suffering she had witnessed. "I was there when Michaela was born and would always turn to my baby sister for strength in times of peril and despair," wrote Anthony Alfieri in a GoFundMe campaign description.